Good morning, y'all. We back. Sorry, it's True Podcast Mode. Happy Saturday, y'all. Hope y'all enjoying y'all weekend, being productive, or taking a load off if you had a rough week and all that. We got some news, we got some updates. Y'all know how we do over here on this channel. Shannon Sharpe, we're gonna start there. It's like you could barely keep up. I'm not saying that it's Diddy level, like a lawsuit or allegation or update per day, but it's been a tough week for Shannon. So today we got to go over his lawyer speaking out. Also, they tried to address why he offered the $10 million hush settlement money even before this went public. We're going to get to that. Stephen A. Smith, he has another public video of him addressing Shannon Sharpe stepping down from ESPN. You saw yesterday's stream. That's BS to me. What else? New accusations from an old girlfriend that's on Shannon as well. We got to touch on that. We also got to touch on Shaquille O'Neal. He responded to the conspiracy theory of him having any involvement or ties to this, right? As it portrays to Shannon Sharpe being outed publicly on the internet, right? We'll get to that. What else do we got going on? We got Diddy updates. His docket is going crazy as he gets closer and closer to trial. So there's a big update in his case about a recent motion that him and his team submitted. Also, I want y'all to see some of the stuff that he's walking into his trial to face, right? Just as a refresher, because I feel like we're out the loop on some of that. We got that. We got Ye. What was he on Twitch the other day? Talking mess as always, but he got checked about something. I can't wait to get to that. And I got Clone. All right. Got a couple phone calls, couple text messages, 1 or 2 tweets about Clone and my name being referenced in the controversy and the situation that Clone from the battle rap world got going on right now. So I'll get to that as well. And then we'll close off with just some small news. But yeah, we got a lot to cover today. So shout out to the chat coming in. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the mods, of course. Shout out to Checks and Balances. I got to get into the Checks and Balances chat after the stream. I know there's a lot of stuff in there that I might be missing, but I'm going to catch up ASAP. I promise. And once again, people, just remember, scheduling wise, Monday through Friday, we are here 6 a.m. in the morning. After the streams is over, of course, they're here for replay, and I will also get chapters in if we're covering multiple topics. When it comes to weekends, we are here in the mornings, but not a set time, okay? And don't forget, run over to Spotify. The link is in the description below. Follow us on Spotify as well. We over there now. We moving. All right, let's get started. Shannon Sharpe. Let's start with this whole explanation of why they offered $10 million prior to this going public to the alleged R victim. Okay. Shannon Sharpe, I offered millions to keep intimate details private. Okay. All right. Shannon Sharpe is explaining why he was willing to give his R accuser at least $10 million to not move forward with her lawsuit, saying it was a drastic attempt to keep the intimate details of his life from going public, not because he did anything wrong. Okay. The Hall of Fame's legal team released a lengthy statement on Friday addressing a number of topics in one swift motion, most notably the eye-popping settlement offer that was presented to the woman earlier this year. Michelle Schuster, litigation counsel to Sharpe, said in the statement his client was willing to pay her a substantial amount of money to avoid the intimate details of his personal life from being exposed, as many high-profile individuals often do when they are being threatened, but noted things have since changed. Well, this is my issue with this, people. This is my issue with this. Obviously, that's a talking point for Shannon Sharpe and his team. That's something that they want to address. That's something that they got to get to, because how many of us out here, we did a stream about it included, are like, wait a minute, why are you offered $10 million before we all heard about this? $10 million ain't no chump change. $10 million to shut up and settle. And then we hear details like the negotiations and the settlement discussions went on, including a retired judge for 6 weeks. What the hell is going on in 6 weeks that then gets you to the end of that, to the point where $10 million is on the table? So a lot of us scratch our spider senses and say, wait a minute, that don't add up. That don't seem right. That don't play well. Some of us won't try to give you $10, let alone 10 million for something that they feel that they didn't do, right? So that was an issue with a lot of us. Now, this explanation that they're putting out, oh, we just didn't want our private, intimate details to go public. I mean, you have an angle that they're obviously already playing. The lawyers coming out and speaking, and we'll get to that as far as blackmail. So you have that defense to you off rip if somebody is coming at you based on what they're gonna put out publicly on you, right? Even the Cardi B's of the world will win settlements with Tasha K because you playing with my name a certain. Here's the thing about these type of civil suits and playing with somebody's public reputation, especially when you got $100 million deals on the table, or you're making tens of $1 millions already in your podcast and on your show on ESPN. People like that are going to send them lawyers quick. You can't just threaten people like that. I'm not saying everybody's going to go Jay-Z DEFCON 4, but you can't just out and threaten people that got money like that. And if they got a lot of money to protect, okay? Litigation and legalities, they are very, very expensive, but these people got it. So the moment this person is trying to threaten to shame me publicly because of my personal intimate, I'm sending the lawyers just for that. And I'm getting you for blackmail just for that. You see what I'm saying? So this excuse of we offered $10 million to protect my private information. Let me tell you about this as well. If that's the case, you are superfood. The whole industry is superfood. Now I know suing is the new job these days, so it seems. But the whole if you got money, forget the industry. If you got money, you superfood. All you gotta do is what? Fuck somebody, or get some text messages or a phone call of their freaky behavior or what we did last night. You know what I'm saying? And then here it comes. Hey, if you don't want the whole world to know that you tore salads, right? $10 million I need. If it's that easy, everybody with money is food at that point. I can't. I know that it's easy to throw civil suits at people these days. I know that. Not even these days. Current, like it's been like that for a second. But if you really want me to just believe that you're protecting people finding out about your sexual behavior, so that's why you put $10 million on the table. Once again, this don't really fly, homie. Not for me. It don't really fly. I see what you guys are trying to do, but you got to give me a better excuse of why you offered this person $10 million after a 6-week negotiation and back and forth mediation. Don't make sense. And then on top of that, you deal with stuff like this. So we have a second accuser that came out. Sheesh. They say when it rains, it pours, right? Woman who filed 2023 SA lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe speaks out about the current allegations against him. I want people to understand what Shannon did to this woman. That was horrifying. Amid the $10 million SA lawsuit currently plaguing Shannon Sharpe, another woman who accused Sharpe of SA in 2023 is speaking out about her own allegations against the NFL Hall of Famer. 2023, right around the corner once again. According to documents obtained by the Sun, Sharpe's former girlfriend, they name her right there, accused him of R in a suit filed in late 2023. So this is before people heard about the $100 million on the table. This is she filed this. This isn't somebody that we're saying is coming out now in the middle of what Gabriella Zaninga allegedly got going on. This is somebody that was predating Gabby's allegations. So this person was already on his heels in 2023. In her lawsuit, Evans said she and Sharpe had dated for nearly a decade. When they got into an argument over cheating allegations in September 2010, oh, she's going older. So y'all relationship goes back all the way to there. Evan alleged that Sharpe proceeded to forcefully subdue her, compelling her to get on her knees and subsequently engaging in non-consensual oral penetration. Despite my protest, he persisted in this violation. The docs go on to allege that Sharpe then proceeded to engage in non-consensual other penetration with Evans. Evans claimed that Sharpe threatened to ruin her if she ever disclosed the alleged incident, which reportedly led her to file an order of protection against him. After news of the restraining order started to make its round, Sharpe stepped away from his show on NFL Today. We remember that show. So this picture gets painted. I'm not saying guilty, innocent. I'm not doing that right now, but this paints a picture of This is happening all over again. You have a nice public job as a sports an analyst or a whatever. You have a relationship, a consensual relationship with somebody. Things go left for whatever reason, whether it's because you have an argument with this person or this other person got beef with you because some audio, whatever. And then the way you go about managing it is some abusive, and this is what constitutes the Gabby's position of saying the no means no. It doesn't matter how much we've engaged in the past. This particular incident right here was forceful and and I was crying and you forced me and you choked me and you hurt me and I was screaming and allegedly, right? This person is saying I was with the man from 2010. So if there was a restraining order, that's all record, right? Because I'm the guy that says many times, like, I'm tired of seeing this stuff go straight to Tony Busby. I want to see some of this stuff go to the cops. Well, this person says she went to the cops 2010. And then when that started to make its rounds, you step down from that job. The once again, the alleged step downs, once it started to go public, it looks bad. Dare I say it is bad. Because of the similarities. And this is stuff that would be documented. That suit and that order of protection from years ago. And you stepping down from a prior job. Okay. Let's start going a little bit more into Shannon Sharpe's legal side and his team. Shannon Sharpe's legal team released a statement following ex-girlfriend's resurfaced allegations and new $50 million lawsuit. So this is his team speaking up on his behalf about the allegations that we just read. Shannon Sharpe's legal team released a statement following ex-girlfriend's resurfaced allegations. Shannon Sharpe's legal team has issued a new statement defending the NFL Hall of Famer against resurfaced allegations from a former girlfriend and a newly filed $50 million lawsuit by a woman identified as Gabby Zaninga, also known as Carly. In the statement released by attorney Michelle Schuster, Sharpe's legal counsel says the recent headlines are the result of individuals attempting to exploit their past relationships with Sharpe for personal gain. When someone famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out of the woodwork and share their connection to that person in an attempt to profit. The statement reads, in many cases, those stories or accusations are nothing more than old news, exaggerations, and sometimes blatant misinterpretations of fact. So that's true. That is very, very true. Your name gets hot, your name jumps in the news cycle. Everybody's going to talk about, like, hey, I know this person, or I've seen this in the past, or I know about this, sometimes for their own personal benefit, sometimes with their own civil suits to try to ride the coattails, sometimes to just get their little moment of 15 minutes of fame or clout. That is absolutely true. The issue here, though, is this person has allegedly police paperwork from a order of protection and a suit from 2023, which predates this new $50 million situation with Gabriella Zaninga. So this is before this. I don't know how you call this a clout chase or somebody just stepping in to get their 15 minutes. I don't see how you do that. This person was like, no, I'm the original Gabby. To be honest, my shit is still going on. Allegedly, we'd have been here before. You already stepped down from that job over there. That was because of me, y'all. This Gabby's I'm Gabby OG. That's the picture that's being painted there. So how is that a clout chase? But his legal team is doing what they're supposed to do. You know, I get it. Let's go back to corporate for a second. Something that we've enjoyed doing on this channel a lot recently. Let's go to Stephen A. Smith reacting, or at least further speaking up for the powers that be as it relates now to Shannon Sharpe's alleged step down, aka firing, right, from ESPN. Yeah, I'll save my reaction to the end for this, but this is very, very telling, people. Very telling.
I've seen the text messages released by his lawyer, who, by the way, I don't think has been impressive in this at all, because some of the information that was let out to the public, I have no idea why a lawyer would advise such a thing, but that's a different subject for another day. And we're allowed
Then
to
why you
deduce
say it?
from an opinion perspective what we believe and what we don't. So long as we concede that we have no way of knowing definitively what the truth is. What I can speak about is the fact that this 3-time Super Bowl champion and this Hall of Famer, who emphatically stated to me over the phone how innocent he is of these allegations that have been levied against him, insisting repeatedly that anything you read, anything you see, anything you hear was fully and totally consensual. In the same breath, what's inescapable is that without us knowing all the merits, he was working with Disney, where I've worked since 2003, excluding my departure from 2009 to 2011, when I was gone for those 2 years. Outside of that, I've been at Disney since October of 2003. I know this place. I know the worldwide leader that is ESPN, who's under the umbrella of Disney. And it wasn't difficult for me to figure out what was transpiring. As I sit here before you today discussing this matter, ESPN and Disney have a wait and see attitude when it comes to whatever evidence they may learn about this entire situation involving Shannon Sharpe from a legal and from a civil perspective. What they didn't need, as it pertains to those two things that I just mentioned, they didn't need any definitive evidence at this particular moment in time about all of that stuff once all the things Shannon Sharpe's lawyer put out there. It was uncomfortable to listen to, and it was not something that Walt Disney once associated with its brand. So to have him on the airwaves while all of that stuff was put out there was not something that Disney was going to take.
People, why are the reports coming out, or why did they come out saying Shannon Sharpe steps down and steps away, and his lawyers even saying that as well publicly? Stephen A. Smith, somebody's lying. You saw our call yesterday, stepped down my ass. He got fired. He got pushed. Stephen A. Smith just said once his lawyer put out the text messages and the things that his lawyer put out, Disney, these folks are uncomfortable, and that's all they needed, despite them having a wait and see attitude. The lawyer came out, we saw some things, we read some text messages, and we said, no. So which one is it? Somebody's lying. Ding, we nailed it again yesterday, but that wasn't a tough one to nail if you just put your thinking hat on. But another one here from Stephen A. Smith, it's going to transition me and alley-oop me into the lawyer, right? I'm not going to try to overly discredit this lawyer. I don't know his history. For all I know, he won 1 billion cases and he's got a batting average like Barry Bonds or some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he's already doing some questionable things in the public. A lot of people are just looking at some of the things he's saying, some of the things he's put out, some of his missteps. Even Tony Busby is using some of that stuff against him. Tony Busby and them, they're still on their paperwork calling Gabby Jane Doe. They're trying to catch you now for doxing. They're trying to catch you for outing. They're trying to all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like the R stuff is going to get compounded. It already is being compounded from the paperwork that we read. And this guy, we got to just get used to seeing these lawyers on TMZ, holding these public press conferences ain't nothing new, but these lawyers getting on TMZ and fighting cases outside of court, getting on people's live streams. I feel like I can call some of these damn lawyers like, hey man, you want to talk? And I guess to them, that's part of the defense, because the era of the internet that we're in right now, public perception and the court of public opinion, it weighs so heavy. You know, and I guess you're also thinking about, hey, the jurors, the potential jurors are in the same sea of people that's watching all this stuff too. So let me get out here and fight some of these fires. But it just doesn't look good, the stuff that he's talking about, though.
All right, Lanny, let's listen to some of what he said. This is Shannon Sharpe's response.
Thank you.
My family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart.
And we've all seen this already, but one thing that's even that much more obvious now, especially with his lawyers say, no, I'm the one that advised him to do this. I'm the one that said, go on camera and speak your truth. This is the lawyer's instruction to Shannon. And we keep seeing his eyes go up. He's reading, you know, which you coming out here taking this genuine position saying this is for my family, this is for my friends, I need to do this. But we see you reading off a damn teleprompter or some shit. Then you make us feel like you're not speaking from the heart. That's not genuine. Now, granted, in a situation like this, where you never know if anything goes criminal. You don't know if other people continue to come out the woodworks. You got tens of millions of dollars on the table. It does need to be extremely calculated, extremely detailed. One or two bad words in a situation like this will be one word, one syllable can and will be used against you. So I get it. Like, all right, let me read this shit specifically and perfectly. Okay. But at the same time, if you got to read it and that's clearly on camera, that's not going to look good publicly for you. So if you can't do it, don't do it at all. You know what I'm saying? Or speak from the heart with something that you know, rehearse it or something. I don't know. You know, like when we get written statements, sometimes that's fine enough. When Jay-Z comes out and it's a written statement, it went viral. Everybody got their hands on it. Everybody podcasted about it, covered it, reread it. He said, I'm not the one. I dare you to bring criminal charges if I really touch some 13-year-old. It was a written statement. Written statements still in 2025, written statements are still fine. Don't read some shit in front of us, though. It don't look good.
This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so.
So legally, I'm going to continue to learn about that. The abilities. So you're saying, shout out to SJS and shout out to the members in the building saying, I think that's BS though. If you accuse me of something that egregious, I should be able to say your name. This really is a lose-lose for the accused. So they do have that right to face your accuser and all that. Like if you get to trial and stuff, right? Obviously. You get your hands on certain names and witnesses and whatnot along the way. Things are divulged, things go to discovery. But these civil suits that we see and the John Does and the Jane Does, I just honestly, I need to learn more about that. Why you get to do that. Like, look how forceful Jay-Z and his team was going at identifying who that girl was. Eventually they found out, but just that they was forceful about that. And I see the gains in having somebody identified because you get to have people look into that person. We get to go after what's so important in court, which is credibility. Right. And if you could just sit and hide, you know, faceless and nameless, God knows which you're motivated to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the easy place to be, you know, and talk shit or talk sideways or not be accurate because you're not public. You know, if I come up here right now and I say a bunch of reckless stuff, they're like, yo, my face, my everything is there. You see what I'm saying? So I get it. But at the same token, maybe I do have a right to not have to be publicly accessible because I have an issue with you. You know, like I got to learn more about that. But that's a great comment there, SJS. I don't know.
So, hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it or I will myself. You know what happened and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
It is unusual. I mean, this is a different day and age, Lanny. I mean, you and I are old enough to remember where you didn't, the lawyer either responded or it was no comment, but we're in a different age now. Why do you feel it was necessary? Why did Shannon feel it was necessary? And I'm sure he ran this by his representatives to get in front of this and get it on camera.
Well, I'm his lawyer, and he's been sued with vicious lies that are contained in the lawsuit filed by this Mr. Busby. And we're going to be suing her as a counterclaim, and we will prove she's lying. But then I said myself to Shannon Sharpe, you need to talk to your family, your friends, your fans, everybody who watches ESPN, because you are telling the truth. The truth is on your side. And when you say it yourself, rather than me or somebody else saying it, you will be believed. And I ask everybody to find that. It's on formerly known as Twitter, X, and you can watch him. And I said to him, Shannon, the television camera quickly detects somebody who's not authentic and doesn't lie. I'm kind of an expert in that subject. You will come across as telling the truth because you are telling the truth. So I hope everybody watches that tape. The jury will be seeing Shannon testify. And then when she's on the witness stand, which she must be because she filed the lawsuit, she will be asked to explain the text messages asking for fantasy role playing, asking to be choked, asking for a dog collar, asking for his, quote, black babies. This was all a plan, taped, manipulated, extortion, blackmail scheme. And we will prove that in court when we sue her in a counter.
So as I'm listening to that, I did just have another angle that popped into my mind. Real talk. The public speaking about lawsuits or what your position is. See, the thing is, I feel like I'm going to use myself as an example. I just don't think that me and Shannon are the same. As far as like the strength of your position, meaning like his position right now just looks weak. The $10 million prior, other people coming out with similar accusations, and some of those text messages, and then the audio. His position doesn't look strong, right? I do understand, that lawyer saying when you have truth. I get so passionate about that. Almost any video that I've done that would be considered controversial on this channel, I spoke out publicly because I had so much truth that I can sit in, and I do all this stuff live. And, I even enjoyed that I was able to address things publicly live instead of the old school edited blogs, because everybody used to say, God forbid you get an ARP ether blog. And those were like edited. And I was doing a lot of the edited blogs back in the day to address shit. And even from back 2013, like the Star video and everything, but I'm chopping up emails and receipts and text messages and saying, get around this black and white. Somebody show me where I'm wrong here. Forget whether you like me, agree with me, like whatever, dislike me. Let me show you something. Now talk. You know what I'm saying? So later on, I started doing that live. It's just like you could see my mannerisms, you could see my eyes. I don't have to edit. I don't have to read off of a teleprompter. This is the natural me. And the natural me is emphasized when I have my truth to sit in. Like if I could just walk into a deposition or court with the type of position that I have, it's so easy for me. Whether the judge or the arbitrator or the litigator believes me or not, or rules in the other person's favor, it's still so easy for me because I have my truth. And if somebody wants more than my truth, I got evidence for you. Text messages, screenshots, and phone calls, and videos, and interviews, and this and that. Like some of my people that you would think that I have disagreements with, they could never sit in front, never sit in front of me and allow us to ask each other questions. They could never do it. As sharp as some of these people are, as smart as some of these people are, they're sitting in too much lies. They're sitting in too much accusations. They're sitting in too much fuck shit. And that's too easy for me to just sit in front of you and say, this, I'm running out of fingers. And you can't counter it, because even if you try to counter, I'm just going to say, you sure? Okay, no problem. How about this then? You know what I'm saying? So the difference here, though, like I said, I like the lawyer's approach, but I don't know if the lawyer is being a little bit too, I'm tying the point now, a little bit too, I guess the word is almost believing of Shannon. Lawyers will defend you if they're interested in the client, if they're interested in the case, and it's part of their job, it's part of their business, right? If they choose to pick up the case, then that's their job, right? They don't have to believe you. They don't have to believe you fully. They could believe, like, I believe 70% of the story, right? This lawyer putting Shannon in that seat is almost like he believes Shannon Sharpe 100% to constitute what he just said here. I believe you 100%. And I think if you're Shannon's lawyer, of course, you'd never say this publicly, but you'd be a little bit naive to go to 110% on these allegations on Shannon's side. You defend it like it's 110%, but you navigate it like, let me not put him here because she might got some text messages or some video too. So you get what I'm saying? So I think he's right in the concept, the lawyer, but I think he's wrong in the person that he's choosing to put in that spot. Okay. Damn, that's an interesting take. You ain't gonna get that nowhere. That's an interesting take. All right, let's get to the Shaq conspiracy theory. Okay. Y'all saw my position yesterday. I was like, Shaq got issues with people just like we got issues. Everybody got issues and disagreements with people. Maybe they don't like each other. All right, cool. There's video of Shannon talking about why he and Shaq got problems. Cool. It doesn't mean that Shaq has anything to do with this 19, 20-year-old girl coming out and saying you did something to me. You know, like Shaq didn't do that. That's on Shannon. Okay. So this is Shaq responding and trolling Shannon now.
Hey, this is Shaq. I'm paying top dollar information. You know where Charles Barkley's at?
Yeah, I know where Charles is at. I got him.
All right. I'm also paying information. You know where Kenny the Jet Smith at?
Yes. I got Kenny too. I know exactly where he's at.
Okay. Now this one right here gets you going. I'm gonna give you some motherfucking big dollars. Do you know where Ernie Johnson is at?
Ooh, let me work on that one right quick. That's a tough one.
All right. And remember, I'm paying top dollar for all that information. Love you, boy. Hey, don't tell nobody.
All right, one.
All right, go. Hey, this is Shaq. I'm paying top dollar.
See, you're getting trolled. You got big voices trolling you. You got nobody with big voices standing for you. Like when Jay-Z was under fire, you know, Stephen A. Smith got on that huge platform and said, no, blah, blah, blah. He rode out for Jay-Z. Nothing like what he did for Shannon. He rode out. You know, it's always good to have people that vouch for you. It's bugged out how vouching for somebody is actually going to bleed into my clone topic, but we'll get there. It's good to have people that vouch for you, right? If I'm able to, if somebody's out there got something going on and people are unsure, but there's other people around that have, you know, very good track records and a lot of credibility. And then ARP comes out and says, nah, trust me, like, you know, such and such is solid, or nah, trust me, such and such ain't good. You know, that adds weight. You know, that's why people look to bring other people in at times, because they know, like, I'm fighting this fight and I'm not necessarily going to win it on my own. Okay. Shannon Sharpe, this is an uphill battle, ain't even the right words. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's got a lot going on. And if you just look around, it's people believing that he's in the wrong here, public perception wise. And it looks like it's still getting worse. Not even looks like it is. And trolling wise, you know, they start digging through your past and they start digging through your old interviews. The Monique one came up the other day where it looks like she's flat out in jest exposing him. In jestfully, yes, but exposing him. And look at this one.
She's so young that she could pop out. 20. She 20. Darnell. 20. Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the Darnell? I didn't date her mom because why didn't I date her mom? What? You like them young, though. Don't do that. I don't like them young. She's so young that she could pop out. 20.
All right. I'm gonna leave the rest of the Shannon topic alone. Damn, dog. When it rains, it pours. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. All right. Let's go to yeah, right. As I'll say it's the internet is a beast, man. The internet is a beast. All right, let's go to Diddy. Let's go to the Diddy topic. This is not good. This was an L. So we was checking out the motion the other day of his attempts, or the other week, to suppress or have the Cassie video not even come into his trial, not even come into court. And the angle that they were playing is because it was altered. Not necessarily clipped in the beginning or clipped at the end, but they're saying sped up, slowed down, altered, audio might be missing, audio might be adding. Little Dirk just played that angle as well, right? Like that audio ain't mine and something else was added. That taints the grand jury. But anyway, out of sequencing is something that shit. If it was me, I'd go after it too. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't slap her at that point. I slapped her in the beginning. Like I'm joking, people. I'm joking. But you know, that video footage not being able to come to court would have been a huge win for Diddy. But Diddy's 2016 Cassie assault video allowed to be shown at upcoming sex trafficking trial, judge rules. Diddy's 2016 Cassie assault video allowed to be shown. A New York judge ruled Friday that the shocking 2016 security footage showing Diddy assaulting then girlfriend Cassie Ventura can be shown to the jury. During Friday's pretrial hearing, judge, whoever that person's name is, also revealed Diddy-born Sean Combs rejected a plea deal that could have reduced his charges. We don't need more than that. So that's one thing we're going to remember, that, you know, there's going to be the ASAP Rocky element where they're going to say, yo, ASAP, you sure you didn't want to take that deal? He ended up beating it, right? It's the case with Diddy as well. Diddy could have had reduced charges, but to be fair, we don't know what that, I don't know what that plea deal was. And Diddy's, how old is he? Is he in his 50s yet? Diddy's older, right? So it's not like he's 19 years old taking a plea deal for 10. It's just like, it's all good. I'm coming home still to what a lot of people can consider the rest of my life. Like Diddy's like, in 5 years, 10 years, you know, that's, you know, you're killing the rest of what I have, my natural life, you know, allegedly, I don't know. But him rejecting the plea deal. And then on top of that, he probably feels very confident in the position that he's going to take, you know, in this case. But speaking of his case, we say a lot, we joke a lot, we laugh a lot that, hey, if all it is that video that he's not being charged for, which is assault, and if it's about his private life, his sexual life, which is in privacy, and freak-offs, aka the Freako, why are we here? This is just a reminder, people, as we get closer to this trial starting. This was a different update that went to his docket the other day, but the only relevance that I want to show you here is just the table of contents. That's it. The introduction, defense request number 1, list of standard charges, defense request number 2, summary of the incident, defense request 3, racketeering conspiracy. Okay, so the elements of racketeering conspiracy. A, the first element, conspiracy to violate RICO. And 1, the enterprise. 2, interstate or foreign commerce. 3, employed by or associated with. 4, pattern of racketeering activity. 5, conduct or participate in the conduct of such enterprise affairs through a pattern of racketeering activity. Now we get to B, second element, membership in the conspiracy. C, third element, agreement to commit predicate acts. D, alleged racketeering acts. Act 1, kidnapping. Act 2, arson. Act 3, bribery. Act 4, witness tampering and obstruction. Act 5, forced labor. Act 6, sex trafficking. Act 7, transportation to engage in prostitution. Act 8, possession with the intent to distribute narcotics and controlled substances. E, special sentencing factor request number 4, sex trafficking. Summary of the incident, the element of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. First element, recruiting, enticing, transporting, or harboring. Second element, use of force, fraud, or coercion. Third element, commercial sex act. Fourth element, affecting interstate commerce. What? He's got the Mann Act in here. What? Knowingly transport interstate or foreign commerce, intent, engage in prostitution, aiding and abetting liability, attempt, the venue supplying allegedly, defense theory of the case. It's a lot. A lot of people say, is this a one-man RICO? What's going on? RICO and an assault video that's not assault charges, arson and interstate commerce and trafficking and it's a lot. I wouldn't be surprised. How long is this trial? What's the bet on that? How long is this trial gonna go? This ain't no ASAP Rocky trial where it's going to be over in a couple weeks or something like. No, there's going to be a lot that they're going to be bringing to the table, witnesses, and his defense must have been working on. Oh, that's another L that he took. They denied his ability or his request to push back the trial a couple months. I think they was aiming for like July or something like that. You know, that happened right after Brian Steele came in, and that was denied. They're like, nope, we going. Was it May or something like that? Right around, yeah, no, we going. We starting. It's a lot, man. His defense definitely has to work the night shift, the graveyard shift, to continue to put their fight together. But all right. All right. I'll leave the Diddy topic there. All right. Next up, we're gonna go to Clone now. Okay, we're gonna go to Kanye after Clone. Let's go to Clone. Okay, backstory for Clone, not just for battle rap heads, but for non-battle rap heads. Clone got a lot of stuff going on around his name right now. Some footage came out, hit the internet, of Clone in an interrogation room, and there were names that were being said, like SOS, etc., etc., etc. And you know, the battle rap community came out heavy, especially being that recently the battle rap community just had all eyes on a different battler for going through ratting or snitching allegations, etc., and paperwork that came out. Now, this is video, right? That came out. It was a clip, right? And in a live that I did, like I think Tuesday, where I spoke about the clone topic. One thing that I said it was 3 chapters that I walked my clone topic through Tuesday, right? I said, number 1, reality check. The belief that some of these people out here owe us something, right? I said I got about 7 to 10, and 7 might even be pushing it, of people that I really would expect to holla at me or get on my line if my name was being dragged through the mud for anything. I would expect them, they can make their own decision, but I would expect them to holla at me first. It's only like 7 to 10 people from battle rap, right? And once again, even that can be pushing it. The second chapter that I walked through with that was a positive for Clone. The positive for Clone was that I said the initial clip that came out, yeah, if you say that this is only talk about a record label, then we're going to stand on what I've been saying on this channel for a minute, which is context does matter. I wouldn't want that to happen to me, so I got to stand on that for the next man. Context matters. If a clip of me comes out and from the interrogation room saying, yo, my uncle gave me the gun, right? I gave y'all like a hypothetical story the other day, right? My uncle gave me the gun, right? The full video might be like, yo, first of all, I'm making that story up. And then on top of that, I never say a name. And number 3, I even told the detective when he asked me, what's your uncle's name? I ain't giving up no name. I'm just saying an uncle of mine gave me this. And he's like, shit, I salute you for not even telling me, man, because everybody gets in here and sings to me. Right? Go peep that story, some of those stories and some of those details I dropped on my Tuesday stream. And then 3, I said the negative on Clone is that when he did his live with Jack Boy, he put himself on a clock by saying, I got y'all. I'm gonna give y'all that footage so y'all have the full context. So basically what I was saying there is, like, if he doesn't provide that after saying that he did, it's gonna be like what happened with Adi Boom. And Adi Boom was like, yo, when the courts open up, I'm gonna get my paperwork. And he never did. And then it's just like, for the crop of people that were still waiting, now they don't even have anything to hang their hat on. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward now. Clone went up to Hip Hop Is Real, and he brought his paperwork, and he brought from what my understanding, people, is more of the footage, but still not all of the footage, providing certain clips. And it was like yesterday. It was like, this was yesterday. Yesterday, I was watching this video. I was watching other videos. I was catching up on Spaces. Even though I don't podcast on battle rap controversy really, and I stay really with these celebrities that I don't know. I've broken bread with some of these people. A lot of these people I'm peers with from battle rap. So I stay away from a lot of that battle rap controversy. Like 90+% of my channel these days, the topics that I cover, it's not battle rap, even though I could do that all day, every day if I chose to. Right. And I can kill all of those topics because I really, really know a lot about that space. I know more than most about that space, but I leave it alone. Right. But I'm still tapped in. I still follow the culture that I played a big part in. Right. I still support it. I still pay attention to who I'm around and what's going on. So I was catching up yesterday. And as I got to this clip, my ears and my eyes turned because I was like, wait, what was that? So I'll play it for y'all, and then we'll continue on with the topic.
I wasn't sloppy, bro.
And from the looks of the shit I'm reading, you got tied into this because other people were stating your name and a lot of shit that they were.
So that's how I got in there, bro. One of them that didn't like me, they said, you know what? They knew I battle rap. They knew how big I was. We gonna use this to f them up. They've been trying to infiltrate the culture. News got this. ARP got this. And John got this before.
Yep.
But them some real niggas. They came to me first.
Yep.
Stop me when I'm lying.
No,
Salute to you, ARP.
yeah, because
ARP got it right after Big K. He came to him right after Big K. Right after he dropped Big K. ARP hit my line like a real one. Hey, bro, what's up with this? Broke it down to him. Even ARP he wasn't letting me just tell him any old thing. You know, people can indirectly tell on themselves, you know what I'm saying? Or tell on other people. Like, maybe you didn't know. Bro, this ain't that. This ain't that. And I hit him with, he said, you know what? Next person was News after we did the 2-on-2.
Okay.
Next person was John.
Okay, so I heard this while I was just catching up yesterday. I was like, what happened to my live? Oh, we still good. Okay. So I heard this yesterday. My eyes went, what? I was like, wait, I did what? All right. So the context that I think people would take from that is this whole situation that everybody is unfolding right now and in the midst of right now. ARP, and he's naming two other people, John and Bad News had prior. That is false. Okay. The full context of what Clone is talking about here is it's true. After the Big K battle, which is, I believe, 2021, that's the Hitman and Cassidy card. That's Max Out 1. Okay. Somebody, whoever, I don't know if it's one of those gentlemen that went up to Hip Hop Is Real. I have no clue. But after Clone battled Big K, somebody hit me up. It was either a DM or a text message or something like that. And for the most part, what it was like, yo, Clone is not good. It wasn't paperwork. It wasn't no interrogation room footage. It wasn't no detailed shit. It was nothing like that. It's nothing like what's out now, what's going around now, where people are fighting and arguing and debating and breaking down. It's none of that. It's just some random person that hits me up and says, yo, boom, 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 about Clone. Someone's like, who is this? What is this? So what did I do? I hit Clone and I said, yo, somebody out here is saying this about you. You know, you might want to look into that. Yo, good looking. I appreciate you. There's no reason for me to go public with that. There's no reason for me to jump through hoops for that. There's no reason for me to jump out the window on Clone for that. You know what I'm saying? It is a real thing to do. It's like, instead of taking that and jumping out the window, I'm like, yo, this person that I have no clue of that got either my DM or their hands on my number says, yo, Clone is not good. And then I go, let me cut this camera on. Yo, somebody told me Clone is not. No, it is the real thing to say, yo, I don't know who this is. I know you. I do business. Me and you work together. You always been solid to me. I know you. Somebody hit me said you're not good. Something. Yeah, you might want. And whatever Clone did with that information of somebody going behind the scenes, contacting people that he works with, whatever he did, I have no clue. You know what I'm saying? That was like a 1-2 conversation. Like, yo, somebody saying this about you. You might want to look into that, follow up on that. And then that was the end. You know what I'm saying? Nope. Nobody sent me nothing on either side. Okay. That side, or if these are the same people, I never had my hands on no paperwork. I never had my hands on no videos. Clone never sent me anything either. Never sent me no paperwork or nothing like that. It was just a quick 1-2. Yo, somebody saying something. Okay. So that's the context that I don't think is included in this video. We're talking about somebody that was just contacting people back in the Max Out year, 2021 or whatever. All this other stuff that has come out, this is when people start to attack. Okay. But for nothing else, for lack of nothing else, what did we say about paperwork? You know, you could say whatever you want. You could try to, instigate Bad News at a face-off to maybe say something that you heard about, like Ace Amin, right? And put something on the table and say, hey, you heard about this? He's playing off of rumors. He's seeing what he could, you know what I mean? Like, figure out. He's playing off of maybe things that are being said behind News's back or what's going around a little bit, but they don't have no real paperwork. right? So you don't accuse people of something like that unless you have video or paperwork, or it takes more than somebody just saying, don't let somebody text y'all and be like, yo, ARP is not good. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody text Twerk and say ARP is settling in court. Yeah. Right. You might want to do your fact checks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's all allegedly I'm being sarcastic and I'm playing. Okay. I don't want people to jump out the window over that either. Right. But that's what it's about. So anybody that is just like, ARP, did you know about all of this? The answer is no. I literally haven't spoken to Clone in years, up until yesterday. Yesterday, after I saw this, I put out a public tweet. Tweet said, I don't know about none of this stuff. I didn't tap in with Clone about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see all this stuff pop up, and then yo, Clone, man, because me and Clone haven't even really been in touch like that. I have respect for him from our prior dealings and everything, but we're not in touch. You know what I'm saying? So Clone saw my tweet and he calls me yesterday. I didn't even have his number saved. I'm just keeping it 1,000. I've recycled my phone book 1,000,000 times over, but I saw the name that popped up on my call ID and I recognized the name. And I was just like, and I picked up, like, I heard his voice, like, oh, that's Clone. So he was like, yo, man, I apologize for that. I actually didn't want that piece of the footage to come out because I knew people would misconstrue that and take that as, oh, y'all knew. And then you know what happens to people that you mentioned then. Okay. So that turns into ARP and John, this, like, did y'all vouch? Are y'all vouching or whatever? And Clone knows that, which is why he gave me that courtesy call yesterday. And I appreciated that call. You know what I'm saying? But I also did text Clone this morning, like, yo, I got a couple calls and a couple texts and a couple tweets about this too. The context of that video, you know, I'm a speak my, because I don't want my name involved in any of it. I'm not even covering it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's bloggers that are covering this every step of the way. Lives and spaces and interviews and tweets and all. There's bloggers that are actively covering this. I am not covering this. I don't want my name involved in any of it. All right. So you know, respectfully, I did text Clone back this morning after he called me yesterday and said, yo, like, you know, people say they put my name in it and I shouldn't be a mile close to it. You know, so I'm gonna clarify that. He understood that when I texted him this morning. He was like, "Nah, I get it." You know, and he apologized. He said, "My bad," once again. So we have a mutual respect for each other. But I also did tell the man, like, you got to handle your business. You know, that they on your heels for certain things, and you got to handle your business. You know, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most honorable way I could put it, because I'm not trying to involve myself in that stuff, and I have nothing to do with it. But respectfully to Clone, like, you know, so I said, you got to handle your business, man. And last but not least, going back to what I said about him requesting that to be removed, because he told me that he knew that it would be misinterpreted. So he asked for that clip to be removed. Knowledge, I owe you a phone call. I ain't jumping out the window on you. But I ain't nobody content. I got my own channel too. And if I ride out, you know these views is gonna be through the roof. All right. That's a sarcastic, jestful threat. Knowledge. I'm playing. But I ain't your content. I ain't nobody content. I have a significant. If I do controversy up here, this platform turns to a big platform. Okay, so I ain't nobody's content. Don't use me. If Clone asked you, like, hey man, I know they're gonna misinterpret the way I say ARP name right there, so take that out. And you still ran that for content, so that my name, which is a respected, credible name in this industry, for content, I'll get in my whack 100. I'm not your content. All right. So knowledge, I owe you a phone call. I ain't jumping out the window. I owe you a phone call. But I don't think there's anything else for me to break down with that. But shout out to all parties involved. I wish everybody the best. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. Keep it respectful. There's no way I'm gonna pick up that phone call from Clone yesterday, let him be a man of respect and say, yo, I apologize for that. And then I come on here and be a fuck nigga. That's clown shit. I just want my name removed. That's all I'm doing. Okay. So respectfully to everybody. All right. Kanye. Yeah, every once in a while we might drop battle rap in the middle. I know Kanye's, you know, on fire. The whole world want to talk about Kanye. I talk about Kanye a lot. But yeah, Kanye, you was less important. You wait till the end, bitch, nigga. You see, that's why I like to cover. Why I don't like to cover battle rap controversy too much, because I know a lot of these people. So I'm gonna be over here, man. I don't want to meet these industry motherfuckers. I don't want to shake their hands. I don't want to interview them. I don't want to. I would never interview Kanye ever, ever, ever. If I interview somebody that I don't know or I never did business with or broke bread with on some podcast shit, it's probably because I have respect for them or something. It's along them type lines. It's like I speak more freely of people I don't give and I never broke bread with you. I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing. So I could speak more. I could be more free when fuck these niggas, man. All right, what's up with Kanye, man? He did a stream. Was it yesterday or the day before? And Ye says he should have had babies with Paris Hilton instead of Kim Kardashian. Kim was like Paris Hilton's Virgil. My first question there is, so Virgil passed away. I don't know all the drama between Kanye and Virgil. Obviously, Kanye is painting the picture that they have issues. Is it because Virgil was getting all these creative opportunities that Kanye wasn't? Did Virgil block him from something? Was he indirectly in his way and it was just the brat Kanye being a brat again? I don't know. But I will say this. The way he continues to reference Virgil, sooner or later, somebody's got to stand up for Virgil and say, this man is deceased. Kanye, but Kanye has no bounds. So I just want to point that out. I haven't heard anybody say that yet, but I'm waiting for somebody to be forceful with that. Like, yo, shut the fuck up about Virgil at some point. The man died. Okay. But Kanye is from Chicago. So you never know. Reference, drill music reference, people. Anybody that, if I went over your head. What is this?
Kim was Paris Hilton's assistant. I should have had baby with Paris Hilton over Kim Kardashian. You guys say, could you imagine if I had kids with Paris Hilton? How many hotels I have now? You get what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about that. The Hilton, the Hilton shit. Because I think y'all staying in the Hilton right now. The fucking Edition hotels is a Hilton. You know what I'm saying? And Paris Hilton had the vision, and then that's what happened. Kim was like the Virgil. Kim was like Paris Hilton's Virgil. When Kim was Paris Hilton's assistant, and that's what happened. If you like Arnold Schwarzenegger and you have a kid with a nanny, the nanny only power is to take your kids. So Kim's only power is to take my kids. I had a baby with a fucking assistant, bro, and then put her on Vogue. Then put her on Vogue, bro. You can't put no motherfucking assistant on Vogue, bro. That's exactly Bernardo know that, and it's king time now, bro. No more motherfucking assistants, no more hugs, and that's what happened. If you like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
he thought he nailed one right there, right? He thought he was talking right there. He thought he was zoning it out. That's king time. But this is why the title says checked. And as much as we don't play with kids, Kanye somehow makes it justifiable. And I don't have no issue with it in this particular unique case. Why? Kanye want to be out here calling people's kids retarded and whatnot, right? No? Right? Did I miss something? Was that him? Okay. So he said Boosie's name on the same stream, right? Said that he smells broke or dirt, whatever. So Boosie responded, yeah, you better chill, LOL. But then you get down here. I smell, LOL, never. Your mouth smells like a ham and cheese hot pocket when it comes out the microwave. What you need to do is watch what you tweet, bro. You have sons who look up to you and value your words. You just motivated your son to put it in his mouth. You're making your son suspicious of what a tastes like. Yay, the professional sucker. I don't got an issue with it. I don't got an issue with that tweet. Just saying, you could talk about everybody else, everybody at an extreme level. I'm not talking about like just having opinions that aren't like damaging and whatnot. You out here wilding. He could be getting hit with lawsuits and all types of stuff left and right the way that he be acting and carrying himself. And you want to put out a song for attention, you know, and you want to do this whole I did this with my cousin, and you just want to go wild with all this left field stuff. Okay. And you out here also talking about people's kids, and then you decide to play with Boosie, and Boosie goes there. Says, well, since you want to talk about all right, let's talk about your children that's watching this, nigga. That is such a dub, as in W, right? Ye need to. It's sad, man. It's just sad. But we're gonna keep covering his punk ass, his corny ass. Let me step through these last little two pieces. I'm done with my news, people. I'm gonna step through these last two pieces, then I'm gonna come to the chat since it's Saturday. And today we got a little bit more time because I'm not rushing like I was last week. And I'm probably gonna answer some questions. I'm gonna come to the supers. I'm even gonna let y'all ask me any questions. If there's any questions that I see related to the topics, whether it's Diddy, whether it's Kanye, whether it's Shannon Sharpe, whether it's Clone. Yeah, I'll rock with the chat for a second. But real quick, outside of our regular topic-based news, did y'all see this? Both nights on Kendrick Lamar's tour with SZA have now broken the record for highest grossing show performed by a rapper. What? Houston, 9.44 million. Minneapolis, 9.12 million. And that's why everybody's jokingly saying, look at all these bots. Like, yo, he's on some LeBron shit, man. He keeps putting up all these stats, man. He's putting up, he's padding his numbers, he's padding his resume. And when I say padding, I don't mean in a bad way, but there's some people in the world right now that get sick at anything successful this man crosses. I just felt like I put this up here, regardless of where you stand. If you feel the need to pick a side and beat Drake's gang or Kendrick's gang, well, here's some information. If you're Team Kendrick, there you go. Go run with this. If you're Drake stan, here you go. Go be mad for the rest of your Saturday, okay? Let's close out with some further positivity as far as the little light stuff that I'm bringing up. Now, when we talk about putting people in order, the world's highest earning athletes. I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of happy MJ is number one because, you know, I'm an MJ GOAT guy. I'm not a LeBron GOAT guy. I'm not a Will or Russell is the GOAT guy. I'm not a Kobe is the GOAT guy. I'm an MJ is the GOAT guy. All right. That's where I stand. You know what I'm saying? Say the Last Dance type shit. And I didn't need that documentary, but 4.15 billion. Now we know a lot of that is Nike, man, the Jordan brand and everything. We know that, but hey, I don't care if you get it on or off the court. It's your money. you did something right. You know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods, man, 2.79. Just say 2.8 billion. Rolando, 2.23 billion. Kanye comes in at number 4, 1.88 billion. Messi, 1.85 billion. He's right. Him and LeBron is kind of close. Palmer, 182. Jack, 175. Beckham, 161. Not Odell, y'all. Look at the screen. In case you're on Spotify, David Beckham. Okay. Roger Federer, 1.559. Floyd being number 10. You know, he be talking like he's number one, right? It's arrogant. It's arrogant ass, man. Floyd, man, did you want this list to come out? But you can't. I can't hate. I'm joking. You can't hate on somebody that is at least being listed as 1.52. Like, shut up. Like, Phil is 1.49. I don't know who this is. Is this a NASCAR guy? Michael, whoever, sure, it must be a NASCAR guy or something. 139. Shaq, I'm glad to see him in the top 15. Shaq is 127 billion. Who else is very recognizable? Kobe. Now, when you say Kobe is number 16 at 1.11 billion, is that his estate? Because obviously he's passed, but Kobe's name still earns a shitload of money. Kobe's name is still earning more money than most of us will ever see. Well, obviously, if it's 1.5 people in the world that even millionaires, let alone Kobe's estates type of money. Yeah, his family, deservingly so. his estate, 1.11 billion. I'm curious if I look at this a year from now, if Kobe's number is moving up or down. I'm curious of that. Kevin Durant, 107 billion. Kevin's in the top 20. Man, about to get traded. He's done something right. Yo, Kevin Durant is in the top 20. Interesting. Kevin Durant is ahead of Steph Curry, who comes in at number 20, but peep how Mike Tyson, they still got it number 19 at 965 million. So Steph and Mike look like they can cross a Billy, but Mike Tyson, and look when he was young, all that, like, can I at least get a blowjob? I done got robbed all my money. Don King and all these people. Remember his rants? Like, maybe some could argue, I don't want to do the breakdown right now, but me might be able to argue that the man has made more money post-retirement than he did when he was at the top of the boxing world. When you consider his deals and him saying he got robbed and all this type of stuff and lawsuits and, you know, and women getting them, was robbing, giving one. I'm just saying, I wonder if Mike Tyson has made more in this half of his career than he did when he was walking around with black shorts, knocking everybody out in 30 seconds. That would actually be dope, because he's getting back arguably what he would deserve from the past. And it's good to see and remind people that, you know, it's not just about that microwave, people. Some of y'all in y'all 20s burning through money. You know, you got your whole second half of your life to live. You know, that's dope. All right, I thought that was cool to bring up. All right, let me come to, if I missed any supers, once again, shout out to SJS. Jay says, oh, she must have been on one of the topics. She got the eyes out. All right. Shout out to the chat on this one. Lazar Neva. Trying to pronounce your coded name here, but off topic. At the Super Bowl, Peekaboo was performed at the 30-yard line, which XXX is in Roman numerals. Yes. See, where I was at the game, it's very flat to the field. I'm not trying to stunt right now. I'm explaining the visual versus aerial. I was very, very close. I was like right on the end zone. So I'm looking across to the point where it was even hard from where I'm sitting to catch on the X right away. Like, I got the videos on my gram. You see, we're there at the game and we're like peekaboo, like, oh shit, he's performing this wild. That's all. This is crazy. And then one of my boys next to me said, he's performing in the X. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Oh shit. If you're higher up, you can see down and in. And then I probably would have seen things like the 3 X's, like the 2 small X's at the top. And I would have probably there understood the game's remote control and all that, you know. So the view of it changes like that. You know, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Being in the energy during that performance is incredible. It's a timeless memory for me. But seeing the details of the performance wise, the best seat was on TV. To keep it 1,000, they're doing the drone aerial views, looking down during peekaboo and all that, and close-ups on Kendrick. You see the footage on my gram. One of my boys, after the show is over, one of my boys was like, "Yo, that was Serena." They saying that was Crip walking. I was like, "Word." You don't know that sitting there. You know what I'm saying? So the best seat to watch the details of the performance is in front of the TV. You know, but the experience of it, of being there in the energy and watching it live, is priceless. You know what I'm saying? So. All right, shout out to the supers that came in. All right, let me check out if I see any. Mish, what up, girl? See any questions? Shout out to the members. I always gotta prioritize my members. ARP skipping Neymar, who plays for Brazil Football Club, made me think, since I'm off today, I need to watch the Liverpool. I'm not a soccer guy like that. I know Messi and I know you know what I'm saying, like by name. But I couldn't tell you the top 5 soccer, the other 3 of the top 5 soccer players right now. I couldn't tell you them. I don't know hockey. I don't know soccer. So I'm similar with tennis. I can name the big names. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of sports I just don't. NASCAR and all that. I know how big NASCAR is. I want to go to a Formula One. My man AB went to one and he convinced me like Super Bowl is one thing, but we got to go to a Formula One joint. I'm just like, okay, let's put it on the list. Let's put it on the list. But I don't know any of those peoples by name. You know what I'm saying? Yes, rest in peace. He shouldn't have $1 billion. Who's that? That's crazy, but good for him. Yeah. Any questions? Start the questions now instead of having me scroll up, y'all. Start the questions now if you got any questions for me. Top of the morning chat. Shout out to you as well, homie. I appreciate you. I'm late, but I'm here. Laugh my ass off what I miss. When this live cuts off, I'm going to chapter the whole live. So we did a lot of updates with Shannon. We did updates with Diddy. We did Kanye. We did Clone, and we did some miscellaneous stuff. Yeah. Cap says, ARP, if hip hop is real, don't edit it. Will your famous Ether blog come out? No. Because that, first of all, my Ether blogs are retired. I'm here to address things that I need to on my name or my brand, yes. But you know, my old reputation for those Ether blogs and all that, that's I gotta seriously be provoked, and not only just provoked. I'm so past a lot of that energy, people. But not only is it about being provoked, but I'd have to be in a spot where I feel like people are missing too much information, they don't understand, or they disagree with me. And I just like, okay, I gotta really show y'all something. But I'm keeping myself away from that type of stuff. Like, I'm not even in battle rap. Battle rap was one of the only areas of my life that kept me in constant negativity. Me and Holla say all the time, man, if you catch us irate, if you catch us steaming, if you catch us screaming, walking around the house, whatever, if you hear me screaming from down the hall or some shit like that, it's probably related to battle rap. It's the only shit over like the last 15 years that consistently keeps me around negative energy or pisses me off. Everything else, for the most part, of course, my private life, I have little ups and downs in my relationships or people or whatever, friendships, whatever. But everything else on a consistent basis is very, very even kill, man. You know what I'm saying? We all have our ups and downs during the year, but even kill for the most part. Battle rap, you got to wake up to like, what's the fuck shit today? In the position, in the seat that I was in, and all these people got access to you, and you got all these problems that ain't even yours. It's so me removing myself and retiring, you know, there's a lot of that I'm not even subject to anymore. You know what I'm saying? That won't reach me and can't touch me because of my involvement. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I cleaned up a lot of my phone book. It's not that I don't fuck with some of these people, but it's just like trying to force myself to continue to distance myself from such a toxic place. You know, I'm tapped in, I follow it. I love battle rap. I'm taking hip hop to my grave, but my involvement in the ways that I was prior, you gotta remove yourself. You have to. If you're in my shoes, So no, that's my Ether blog breakdown for you. But as far as hip hop is real now, it's not that serious. I will be asking Knowledge, did Clone ask you to take that out? If he says yes, I'm going to ask him, why did he still leave it in? And if he tells me I left it in because I wanted the controversy with your name included because you strengthened the content, then me and him's going to have an argument. You know what I'm saying? If he tells me like, no, I wasn't told to take it out, then that means that somebody's lying, right? One of them is lying. And it won't even be that important to me at that point neither. I won't chase down which one of them is lying to me. I won't care. I just be like, okay, cool. I had a conversation with Clone. I had a conversation with Hip Hop is Real. As far as where my name is and where I stand, it's not that serious. But I'm just gonna ask like what happened there based on what Clone told me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. But shout out to Knowledge, man. Like when I was fake threatening him earlier, that was in jest. Knowledge is a cool, laid back guy. Just like me, just like you. Knowledge is far from perfect. Knowledge has made a lot of mistakes over the years running his company the same way I have, right? And that's why we get on the phone. If you have an association with somebody or respect for somebody, you know, exchange a couple words, disagreements, agreements, understanding, and then it's left there. That's all. But I owe him a phone call. That's all. I owe him a phone call. No, man. You see, this is what happens. It's like I'm here for your entertainment. Not yet. I've had a bunch of people mention this to me as far as the capabilities and what they're seeing in this podcast. I shit you not. Like when I post stuff like I posted on my gram the other day of people saying like, yo, you're very important to the community. or your podcast is more important than you think. I do believe that the way that this chat is building, the way the energy of this podcast is building, and then me spearheading it and my commitment to it, just the type of person I am, I do feel like we got something special here. But there's somebody out there that's better than Jordan. He never got discovered. So you never know if a podcast like this takes off because everybody sees the value in it, like, oh shit, we discovered this SARS true shit, or whether we just continue to drift along and do our humble numbers, in the midst of a billion other podcasts. You never know, and that's the thing about cracking through. When people find something that's a gem, that's when it's just like, boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that this podcast is a gem. I just think that we do an extremely, extremely good job. I really do. I look around, I watch some very popular content, and there are people, I won't say by name because then I would be being a hater, right? And I watch certain people, I just be like, it's very popular, but he's just not good at his points. Or, oh, this person is scripted as shit. He got to read. Or that person's not a natural. Or this person just steals other people's takes. This person, he doesn't even deliver his takes intelligently. Like, I just see popular channels. I'm just like, I know our shit is better than this. But that's why the mentality is always brick by brick. It's not about trying to be better than somebody. It's about getting what I deserve. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to compete with people. Competition sometimes happens by nature, especially based on the demographic and the landscape that you're amongst. It will happen. And sometimes competition can even be healthy. Okay. But I'm not here. The same way I didn't come into battle rap. I didn't come into battle rap saying, yo, like I walked into jail. Who's got the phone? Nah. I walked into battle rap saying, all right, yo, shake my hand. Shout out to you. I've been supporting you for years. I got you too. Oh, yeah, let me help promote you. I'm showing up to your event. I'm standing on stage. Why is they up here in that footage? Because I fucked with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere across the country, out the country too. And competition brews by nature. And sometimes, well, eventually I even got to a point where I looked in the mirror and I realized who I am. I've always been that nigga that you might compete with. In school, you might compete with me. You might like I remember after school, who told me this? I don't want to say the name of the culprit, but I want to say the name of the person that told me this. It was Aaron. It was my boy Aaron. Aaron, you know the nigga that was on the football team. You crossed paths with him, and he told you, like, I just came up. He was like, yeah, yo, how's niggas been from high school, whatever. Adam, blah, 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 blah. Fuck that nigga. I never liked him. My man Aaron, now he fuck with me. That's my friend. That's my man. That's my brother. We went to college together and all this shit. So he's like, what you mean you don't fuck with Adam? What's that about? What you mean? I just never liked that nigga, man. Always thought he was the girls and all. Fuck him. Ooh, hater. You know what I'm saying? Like my jersey is hung up in junior high school, high school. I got pictures in college. I was one of them niggas in college. I was that nigga in college too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I came into battle rap, and it's just like I was destined, I think, to make noise because of just the way I work and who I am as a person. But with that comes friction. People that acted like they was your friend, they get jealous of you. People hate on you. People try to block you. People feel threatened by you. You mix in money, you mix in competition, you mix in rank, you mix in light, you mix in fans, you mix in women. I got evidence of that too. Women, damn, homie. Damn, I ain't even touched the girl. Damn, homie. You all right? You all right? I gotta stop. This is what happens when I let y'all question me live. I gotta stop. Thank you, Twiz. Yeah, it's inked on me, brick by brick. It's not just a motto; it's a way of life for me. Did I miss any good questions? Dre Day is crazy. I saw that. Shout out to the chat, man. What's good, homie? Thank you, Mish. Thank you. I want to watch your videos, but I just need clips. At least get clips to the channel of the podcast. I mean, so shout out to Quarter Lab. They've been managing my shorts, and we have to continue to get better at our clips and our shorts. there are some epic rants that happen on this channel. There are some epic jewels, some epic moments. I would like to see us get better of clipping that up and getting that to the channel. Me, I'm struggling to do it just based on the 24 hours that's in a day. You know, it's just not easy for me. I'm here 7 days a week. What more, Tyrese? What more do you want from me? 7 days a week. You know, I shoot at 365. Like that's the goal. I can't be the goal. You know what I'm saying? I got other shit to might go on vacation or something. But and you know what I mean? But damn, like, so this podcast is going to continue to move in a direction where I will benefit and people will benefit along with me from helping. Now, if you're just a supporter of the channel, or if you rock with me, or if you're interested in seeing the podcast grow, that way of supporting could be like the checks and balances chat. You know what I'm saying? We exchange news in there 24/7. And that chat is becoming to the point where people's like cool with each other. They wake up, they say good morning to each other, and good. I'm leaving for the day, y'all. Everybody enjoy your night. The chat is dope. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to keep up in that chat. There's a lot going on in there. And then you got the members of the channel. That is a lot. That's supportive as shit. The regular chat, people showing up. There's people here right now. That's support. Sharing, liking, commenting on I can't force y'all to do it, but that's part of it. Then you got like let's say Quarter Lab in the shorts. They're like, oh, we want to add and do the shorts because, you know, we know it's part of the channel and you can't do it all, but shit, we partner with you. This helps us all. So, you know, they're helping with the shorts. I just want to see us get better in all fields. I want these lives to get better. I want the shorts to get better. I want everything involved with me to continue to get better, brick by brick. What else you got? You got Quarter Lab. They're also the ones that's running the and updating the Spotify. So shout out to Quarter Lab. You know what I'm saying? They're updating the Spotify. So that's why I'm able to get up here now and say description, link included. Yo, we on Spotify now, y'all. Even when I get to Twitch, people are going to eventually push me there and say, yo, I got this going on, or bring you over here, drag you over there. That's what happens. You got the face and the middle or the center of these equations, and people see the equity in those people. And what happens is sometimes you get strengthened by a team. Right. It's no different than relationships. You know, behind every good man is a strong woman, all that type of shit. You know, it's the same thing for a podcast. Right. I could only do but so much on my own. There's these other pieces that complement and add and become partnered in and help. And next thing you know, it just keeps stepping up, you know. So I appreciate that the clipping thing, though, because yeah, we gotta all I do need to get more attention on that. Miss Abby, what's good, girl? How you feeling? Good to see you. Appreciate the super. Talk that talk. I'm trying. Sorry, it's true. ARP Cat. What up, G? So what did I say that got everybody saying talk that talk? What did I say? Who's these hearts for? Who's Jay flirting with? Is it somebody in the chat? Is it me? Who's she flirting with? I don't know. What's this? Shout out to the members once again. This is the only live I check for. Look for a part of. Why? Because I'm crazy and stupid and I am a child like a long body Cadillac. Salute MSF. Twiz is in here, right? Where's Twiz at? Twiz said the podcast helps him reformat or change the schedule this morning or something like that, right? Definitely altered my morning a little bit. To stay committed 6 a.m. every fucking morning. Shit. But shout out to everybody, man. When's the next full circle? I spoke to one of the biggest battle rappers in the game about a very significant matchup. We was on the phone 3 weeks ago, something like that. He's got something coming up. And I think once that's over, he and I should pick up that conversation back up. So that matchup I won't divulge. I want to get Remedy Loco into the full circle. I'm just such a fan of his style and him as a battle rapper. Me and Show Off owe each other for the next full circle. I've been saying it and he's been saying it to me. So we both got to stay in that show. I want to see Show Off in a Full Circle. So those are 3. I won't even say who I want to see Show Off against. There's 2 people that at the top of the list, and both of them would be incredible matchups. Local, I have no clue. We would just come up with something dope. A Geechee debut would be dope. A Jazz debut would be dope. I've been able to chill on the Full Circles this year, and even the Now What series, which was the last one that we did, that was black and white, because there's so much going on. So I'm not. They're not business for me. Like there's nothing for sale. I don't sell any tickets. I don't sell any pay-per-view. I don't sell any VOD. Monetize some ads on YouTube for those battles. Most of them shit is damn near L. You know what I'm saying? So, because this year has been moving along pretty well, nobody is getting mad and saying, ARP, where you at as far as Full Circle? You tripping. Nah, y'all got Mook and Hitman on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, what more do you want? I mean, if the year slows down a little bit, that'll probably even propel me further to say, all right, let me throw some dope, throw a little dope shoot together. But being officially retired gives me back that flexibility that I didn't have for 10 plus years, of not having to say stay consistent on your schedule year to year to year for 10 plus years straight. I stayed consistent on that schedule, but yeah, max out's not gonna happen. I see max out every day. I see Blue Room every day. Maybe I would do a Full Circle in a Blue Room or something like that. Like if I booked, like, let's say Cassidy versus Rex for a Full Circle, something like that might be worth doing it in a Blue Room. A Blue Room Full Circle. That'd be fire. But Max Out is a pay-per-view event, and I'm retired from that. Max Out is an event. I have the signed poster sitting next to me from everybody that was involved in that event, to every single battler. Everybody signed this damn thing. Might be a collectible, and that is one of the best overall events in battle rap history. Max Out 3. The card went 11 for 11. The card had a I don't know how many views is it. It's probably over 500,000 views. The card had a damn near a classic. It was voted as one of the battles of the night, as a secret announced battle, like the Awesome and B Magic. How you have Awesome and B Magic booked and you don't even announce it? The 4th announcement was Goods versus Calico. What are you guys doing? You know what I'm saying? Then it's Blue Room, then it's Small Room, then it's that RBE League of the Year run, Blue Room run, and all of that. It's literally one of the best battle rap events ever. The commentary, the battles, the lineup, the card construction, the main event, the history, the league, the promo. Like, look at the face-offs. Look at the A-Verb and A-Ward face-off from the press conference the day before. That shit was crazy. Look at the battle. You know what I'm saying? Glock 50 on his bitch ass, or Glock 40 on his bitch ass. Like, it's such an epic event. And even that within itself makes me say, don't touch that shit. Don't touch it. Leave that alone. The number 4 don't even ring like the number 3. Max Out 3, leave it alone. Let that go down where it's at. Let that go down where it's at. So Max Out is retired. Okay. Max Out is retired. The only way you get I'm gonna say it's retired, but they say the only way you get it. But look, hypothetical. The only way you get a Max Out again is if there's some wild, nostalgic, non-traditional situation that's happening. For example, like shout out to my man B from Fox 5. There was a time when he was interested in doing an event for Fox 5, a battle rap event. Me and B we definitely real close homies. And if he hits me up, or if he hit me up one day and said, I want to do some wild next level, you know what I'm saying? But I need you involved. I need ARP. I need Rare Beat Entertainment type of, you know what I mean? We know what you do. I would entertain, or, think about something like that. It's just like one-off type of scenarios. But it's like running a league is done. So that's how you're not going to get a Max Out 4. But I'm so honored and humbled to see Max Out 4 every fucking day on my timeline. Every day, literally every day. But nah, no Jordan 4.5 for me, G. LP coming out of retirement one time and one time only, maybe possibly do it. Let's go. It would be. I definitely wouldn't waste it. You know, I think the time for me, if I was gonna do it, would have been the Mook and the Hitman, which was in front of me, which is now locked in. Shout out to TBL. Or it could have been like the Hitman and the Lux, which was in front of me, and I walked away from. Nah, I'm cool, man. I gotta leave that alone, dog. Royce, call me. Royce versus Daylight. Maybe Max Out 4. Maybe call me. Nah, yeah, I'm chilling. Big Worm. I mean, Big Perm. You think so? It's possible, right? I've except for the hustle battle, which I just chilled out. A lot of battles recently, I've been voting against Hitman as motivation. Like I went to his face-offs for the him and Geechee joint, and I was on camera at the face-offs. I was just like, I got Geechee too. What? Like, you just don't vote against Hitman, right? Mook is one of them niggas. Mook is capable of walking in that building and clearly dominating this battle. He's capable of doing that because that's Murda Mook. But as much as the culture sleeps on Hitman, at some point, that's the definition of insanity as well. That you keep putting your hand on the same fucking stove and expecting a different result. How many battles are we going to say, oh, he's a dead man walking? Ill Will, K-Shine, Tay-Rock, you know what I'm saying? We do it every time to Hitman. And then what happens? I think Ill Will is the best battle rapper in the world, pound for pound. Got a debatable battle of the year with the man. If somebody was going to kill Hitman, for me personally, I would play Ill Will. If you get an A+ Ill Will, there's nobody better than him in the world. That's just my humble opinion. It's just my humble opinion. And I watched one of the best Ill Wills ever stand in front of Hitman. And what was the outcome of the battle? Debatable. I'm just saying. Mook gotta outdo that Ill Will performance for the version of Hitman that he's gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get too close to bars and battles before they happen because the fan side of me likes to hear it all live. But my last couple conversations with Holla, when he tells me certain things that he's thinking about, you know, or his energy and his passion towards it, battles how many months away? These guys are still, both of them, I assume. I know they're deep into their writing already. It's the end game battle. You can't drop the ball in a battle like this. You have to be the best version of yourself. Both of them. You just can't. You just can't drop. You know, like if you're in the delivery room as a delivery nurse, you can't drop the baby on the floor. You just can't. It's just certain things in this world you can't. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't do it. You can't be Murda Mook and show up to this end game finale, God tier on God tier matchup, grudge match at that, and not be one of the best ever. You can't be Hitman and show up to this and not be one of the best versions of yourself ever. You just can't drop the ball. You can't be. I got to look at this Murda Mook performance and say, this performance that he had for Hitman Holla, this situation, this end game, this God tier on God tier, it's better than the last 5 times I've seen you. And I got to do the same for Hitman Holla. I got to look at this performance and say, I take this performance over the last 5 times I've seen you. Or else it doesn't make any sense to me. I just won't. That would mean that one of them truly fucked up their approach. They overthought it maybe, or the directions that they went in just didn't work. But you gotta be, if you're Murda Mook and Hitman Holla, going over your rounds, rapping in that mirror, rehearsing your shit, And these are artists. They know when they write something, oh, that's it. They know when they got filler. They know when they taking a round off. These artists know that shit. They've been doing this shit since we was kids. If it's not one of the best Hitman Hollas I've ever seen and one of the best Murda Mooks I've ever seen, it doesn't make any sense to me. I won't understand. TBL, clip this up, put this on your fucking channel or something. Clip this up, people. Drop this to Holla and Mook, because I need a classic for that. I need a Quarter Lab. Y'all clip this up too. Put it on my channel. Now I think about it, I show so much fucking love. I'm talking about everybody but my damn self. Fuck TBL, fuck Hitman, fuck Mook. Clip this up, Quarter Lab. Put this on my shit. You see, you can't fake a genuine nigga. I'm live. Oh man. On that note, man, I appreciate y'all here on a Saturday, man. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Sorry, it's true.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house up. And shout out to the members.